Over this past 5 videos, we have built your investment foundation from the ground up. We started with getting clear on your goals, then moved on choosing the right accounts, picking smart investments, building a solid portfolio, and developing the habits of successful investors. But here's something crucial that most investing guys completely miss. Life doesn't stand still. Everyone talks about setting goals, but no one talks about what happens when life takes an unexpected turn. And trust me, it will happen. How many of your plans from 5 years ago still look exactly the same today? Life moves fast, career opportunities pop up, relationships evolve, priorities shift, and then when that happens, most people freeze because nobody taught them how to adapt their strategy. And that's exactly why I saved this topic for our final video. Yes, you need to know how to make the right moves when you start, but you also need to know how to change them as your life evolves. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Before we dive in, if you're just finding this video and haven't watched the rest of the series, don't worry, I will link all the previous videos below. And while they will give you a stronger foundation, today's video is designed to help anyone who needs a little bit of guidance. You know, I learned about adapting to change early in life. When I was 19, I moved to the US by myself with one clear goal: getting a college degree. But here's the thing, I had no money. My parents couldn't help financially, and I was living in New Jersey, one of the most expensive states. Many people would have seen student loans as the only option, but I had a different goal in mind. I wanted to graduate debt-free, so I had to adapt. I worked full-time, sometimes 7 days a week while studying. I adjusted my timeline, knowing that it might take longer than the typical 4 years. The whole process actually took me 6 years, and I shifted my priorities, often choosing work over the typical college experience. And I had to constantly manage my resources, my money, time, and energy to make it all work. In the end, I graduated with honors, with no student loans, and with something even more valuable. I learned that things are not going to go exactly as planned. You need to know how to adapt your strategy when life throws challenges your way. That's why when I studied countless financial journeys, I noticed that every major life event that affects your financial situation and investments falls into one of 3 categories. Let's start with timeline changes. This happens when life either speeds up or slows down your financial goals. Think about it. Maybe you're getting married sooner than you planned, or you have decided you want to retire earlier than expected, or maybe you are postponing that move to a new city because another opportunity came up. Your core goals remain the same, they haven't changed, it's just the when that's different. The second type is what I call priority shifts, and these are fascinating because they show us how life's biggest moments reshape our financial priorities. Maybe you were saving up for that dream trip to Europe, but then you found out that you're expecting a baby. Suddenly, saving for this special moment in your life becomes more important than that vacation fund. Or perhaps you were laser focused on retirement savings, but now you have spotted the perfect opportunity to start your own business. These shifts don't mean that your original goals weren't important. They just mean something else has taken center stage for now. And finally, we have resource changes. Now, your first thought might be about money, and you're right. Getting a promotion, changing careers, receiving an inheritance, or taking on new expenses all fall into this category. But here's what most people miss. Resources aren't just about money. Your time, energy, and attention are just as important. Maybe you used to love actively managing your investments, but your new job is demanding more of your time. Or perhaps you have gained more flexibility in your schedule, allowing you to be more hands-on with your portfolio. Now that we understand these 3 types of changes, timeline, priority, and resource, the big question is, what do we actually do about them? When life throws you a curveball, our first instinct is usually to make quick decisions. And I get it, I've been there. But these moments are exactly when we need to slow down and assess the situation carefully. And the traffic light system helps you do exactly that. Here's how it works. So first, grab your list of financial goals. Yes, the same one that we talked about back in video 1, but if you don't have it handy, any list of your current financial goals will work. So we're going to evaluate each goal using 3 simple categories: green light, yellow light, and red light. Let's start with green light goals, and these are your absolute must-maintain priorities. But here's something crucial: you can only have one true green light goal. Why? Because priority means the most important thing. It's your financial North Star, the one goal that you protect above all others. For most people, this might be maintaining their emergency fund or keeping up with minimal retirement contributions, whatever you consider to be non-negotiable. That's your green light goal. Next up are your yellow light goals, and think of these as your need to modify category. These goals still matter, but they have room for adjustment. Let me give you an example. Say you are saving for a new car. Maybe you extend your timeline from 12 months to 18 months, or you adjust your target price range. These goals stay alive, but you adapt how you will reach it. And finally, we have red light goals, and these are the ones that you can temporarily put on hold without serious long-term consequences. Maybe it's your vacation fund or that kitchen remodel that you were planning. But notice that I said temporarily. We're not giving up on these goals. We're just pressing pause while we adapt to our new situation. The power of this system is that it forces you to be honest about what really matters most. And once you have categorized your goals this way, it becomes much clearer which parts of your investment strategy needs to change and how to change them. Now that you understand how to prioritize your goals using the traffic light system, let's talk about exactly how to adjust your strategy. I call this your 3 strategic levers, and think of them as the tools that you will use to adapt your investment plan to any life change. Your first lever is your contribution amounts, how much money you're putting toward each goal. Think of it like a set of dials that you can turn up or down depending on your situation, and this is usually the first lever most people use to adjust when life changes. Here's a real example. Say that you're facing a temporary income reduction. You might maintain your 401k contributions, reduce your house down payment savings, and pause your vacation fund contributions until your income returns to normal. Your second lever is asset allocation, how you divide your money between different types of investments. Remember back in video 4 when we talked about matching your investments to your timeline? Sometimes life changes means those timelines need to shift. For instance, if you need to access certain funds sooner than planned, you might shift that portion to a more conservative mix. Or if your timeline gets extended, you might have room to take more risks with your investments. The third lever is your account type and structure. Life changes can mean that you need different types of accounts altogether, and this often comes into play with priority shifts. For example, if you're starting a family, it might mean that you need to open a 529 college savings plan. If you're changing jobs, it could require you to roll over your 401k. Or if you're starting a business, it might mean that you need to set up a SEP IRA or a solo 401k. The power of these 3 levers is that you can adjust them in different combinations depending on your situation. Now that you have a clear picture of your situation and which levers you need to adjust, let's talk about exactly how to put these changes into action. The specific steps you will take depend on what type of change you're dealing with. If you're facing timeline changes, start by recalculating your target amounts based on your new timeline. Then adjust your monthly contributions to meet these new targets and reveal if your asset allocation still makes sense given your new time frame. For priority shifts, you might need to open new accounts, you might need to redirect your contributions to align with your new priorities, and don't forget to update your beneficiaries accordingly. And when dealing with resource changes, begin by mapping out exactly what's changing in terms of your money, time, and energy. Then adjust your strategy based on these new resources and set up any systems you need, like automated transfers or simplified investment approaches. But as you are implementing these modifications, there are are some crucial considerations to keep in mind. The main one is about taxes because this is where expensive mistakes can happen. But the good news is that a few simple rules will keep you safe. So listen up. Whenever you are moving retirement accounts like rolling over a 401k, always request a direct rollover. This means that the money moves straight from one account to another without ever passing through your hands. And trust me, this small detail can save you from a huge tax headache. Also, when it comes to adjusting your investment mix, you have to consider capital gains tax. This is a tax you pay when you sell an investment for more than you paid for it. In other words, when you make a profit. These gains get taxed differently depending on how long you have held the investment. Less than a year means higher taxes, and more than a year means lower taxes. But here's something many people don't realize. You have options for adjusting your mix without necessarily triggering these taxes. For example, if you need to become more conservative, you could start buying more bonds with your new contributions rather than selling your stocks. Of course, sometimes selling investments might make sense for your situation. The key is understanding the tax implications first so you can make an informed decision about which approach works best for you. Another thing you might consider is getting professional help to deal with these changes. And here's a good rule of thumb. If you're dealing with a situation that could have significant tax implications like receiving an inheritance or selling a large investment position, consulting with a tax advisor or personal financial planner can be worth the upfront cost, as they can help you understand options you might not have considered and help you avoid costly mistakes. This was the last video in this series, but of course, I plan to continue uploading videos on how to invest according to your goals because this topic is very broad and each situation is unique. If there is any topic you might want to learn more about, don't be shy, just drop a comment below and I will do my best to help or create content about it. Thank you for watching. I hope all of this has been helpful and I see you in the next one. Bye.